Good morning. So we're off to the races, headed to the gym, and hopefully I can go to Walmart and pick up my son's shirt. It looks like the shipment's been delayed, which I don't understand because it's in somewhere local, according to the tracking. So, I mean, what is the delay for a local delivery? And that was showing up from Saturday's update, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe while I'm at the gym, I'll get a notification that I can pick it up. If not, then it'll be something I have to take care of tomorrow. And I do have to go out tomorrow anyway, so I guess that's fine. Let me apologize for yesterday's vlog. I had nothing really to vlog about other than what I was doing, which that's what a vlog is. And I was home all day working, so I was in the zone getting stuff done. This morning already, I've cleaned my CPAP machine parts. I watched Liz for a Day over on Patreon. I got dressed to go to the gym. And yeah, and I also started editing one of the videos. Editing is the part that I dislike the most about doing YouTube. And yes, I could probably not edit, but there's too much going on in my house for me not to edit most of the time. My vlogs are easy to edit. It's just basically listening, making sure I'm not showing things that I shouldn't show as far as locations and things like that. And yeah, just blending together the little snippets of content that I create when I do the vlog. So just putting those videos together. But with the plan with me, I want to cut out all the excess background stuff, and when I'm not talking, I need to speed that up so it won't be so boring and long. Like yesterday, the kids were in the craft area with me all day, so we were playing music, singing, watching TV shows, doing all kinds of stuff while I was planning, eating pizza. I mean, yeah, so there's that. But I was chatting with Liz this morning in her video, and she said that she would be interested to know what my symptoms were for the breast cancer. And I feel kind of weird talking about my breast cancer situation, because I don't want people to feel like I'm begging for sympathy or that I have some kind of hidden agenda. I just feel like I like to share because I had no idea of what it really all entails, what really goes on. I mean, unless, even as someone who's a family member, unless you're going to appointments with that family member constantly, or you're, involved in talking to the doctors and all of that, you still might not know everything involved. And then, as far as emotionally, nobody knows what it's like except the person that has been diagnosed with breast cancer. Nobody knows what that's like. It's even difficult to even explain. Just like last night, I had a perfectly good day. Went to take my shower before going to bed, and I just started thinking about maybe I'm not paying enough attention that this thing can come back in 5 years, because it's like, if it comes back, it usually comes back within the first 5 years or something like that. So, that's constantly in the back of your head. It could come back. It could come back. You might have to do this all over again, which I don't know if I could do it all over again. Honestly, I don't know. It's like traumatic. It really is. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder, do I have some form of PTSD from it or something? I don't know, but it's traumatic. And even though I went through it like a champ, it still bothered me. It still was hard. I just kind of knuckled down and you know, tried to make it through. And for that last treatment, when I went in there on October 31st for that last treatment, I didn't know it was my last one. I had been praying for weeks that that would be the last one, that I wouldn't have to do it anymore. And thank goodness it was, because I'm not sure I would have survived, really, if I'd have had to do more treatments, more of the full strength chemo treatments. Yeah, I did the maintenance treatments. They're not as bad, but you still have a few side effects with it. But compared to the real deal chemo that I was getting at first, that was a breeze. So I'm just glad it's over. I hope it doesn't come back. But when I come out of the gym, I will tell you the story of my symptoms, how I discovered it, everything. I just, didn't want to talk about it a lot because I could go on and on and on about it probably. But I just felt like people don't want to hear that. That's boring. Nobody cares. So that's kind of why I don't talk about it more than I do. Because it's like, it's never over. It's not over. And people use the term remission. I don't even like to use that term because that insinuates that it's gonna come back. So I don't like that. My doctor that hasn't said remission, he told me there's a 90, almost 100%, 99 point something percent that I won't have that cancer again. I don't know what that means. Does that mean that particular DNA, I don't know, cellular structure, whatever, cancer? I don't know what that means. I really don't know what that means. And being that they watch you carefully for the first 5 years, that kind of doesn't mean anything to me at all because it could come back. And I've had another cancer on my leg. It was a skin cancer that I had removed before the whole breast cancer thing. And they swear that that's not related, that skin cancer is a whole different thing. But look at me. I'm black, okay? My legs do not marinate in the sun. I don't lay out in the sun to tan. I don't do any of that stuff. I'm a homebody. I don't like being outside. I avoid being outside, and even like when we go to the beach, I stay in the shade because I have sarcoidosis. And that's a whole nother story about why I try not to get too much sun. Gym looks crowded today. I'm worried. But yeah, why am I popping up with a skin cancer on my leg? And it just looked like a little scab, like a mole. The only reason that I thought, okay, let me go get this checked, was because after a month, it was still just a little scab on the back of my leg. And it just didn't make any sense. I was like, did I get scratched? Or, but it never healed. It never went away. So anyway, let me gather my composure, get my thoughts together, and I will talk about my discovery when I come out of the gym. Okay, I'm back. I wonder whose idea it was to have music playing outside of this shopping center. And it's not just any music, and it's loud music. I wonder why they think that's okay. I mean, it's really loud. I can actually hear it in the car while I'm just sitting here trying to cool off. It's gonna be warm today. Sun shining, as you can see. I think I got a message from Google last night saying it was gonna be 83. We'll see, but it's already getting kind of warm. I'm glad I didn't try to stuff myself in a jacket this morning. It was just a little bit chilly when I left the house, but let's get it together here. Okay, so usually when I come out of the gym, I sit for a minute. I did forget to check to see if the shirt was over there and ready. Let me pause and check on the shirt. Okay, so the shirt's not ready. I'm not gonna play games with Walmart today. So I'm just gonna go ahead and worry about picking it up tomorrow after my appointment. That's just gonna have to do it. So instead, I'm gonna go to this Dollar Tree that's over here and look for something for my son that he asked for. He wanted me to take him before we go to ballet this afternoon, but I'm not an afternoon type driver person because I don't like all the traffic. So if I'm gonna do something, I like to do it early in the morning while everybody is rushing to work or school or whatever, and not in the stores, and not shopping. So that's why it seems like I just go to the store all the time. No, it's because I don't go after let's say 11, 12 o'clock. I'm not going to the store unless it's like the drive-through to pick up a prescription or something like that. Other than that, no, I'm not going to the store. And I don't do Walmart on Sundays either. So that's like the worst day to go in there because they have a limited number of cashiers and a ton of people shopping on Sundays. So anyway, back to the breast cancer. Okay, this is how I found it. So it was almost time for my annual mammogram. And I felt a lump, and my breast cancer was on the left side, lower left side. I felt a lump, and it didn't hurt. It just was, it was very small, but I was very sure it was a lump. I used to do breast self-exams, and I would always wonder, you know, am I feeling a lump? Am I feeling a lump? When I would feel the tissue, the breast tissue. And I was like, well, how am I supposed to know when it's a lump? Well, you'll know if it's a lump, I'm pretty sure. I knew instantly. So it was already time for my yearly, like I said. So I called the OB/GYN and made my appointment for my yearly exam. And he always would give me the prescription to go to the imaging place to get my mammogram. And I told him about the lump. He checked it and he sent me to get the mammogram and the ultrasound. I think they call it something else, but it's the same thing like when you have a baby and they put the goop on you and they look at it with the ultrasound machine. Same kind of thing. So they did that and the ultrasound, the mammogram and the ultrasound, and they said that it was a cyst, non-cancerous cyst. Okay. And I was like, okay. And I figured, okay, they know what they're talking about. You know, it's a cyst. And since they did the ultrasound, I figured, you know, that was an extra step that I didn't normally have. It was usually just a mammogram. Well, that was in 2017, late 2017, like late summer. Maybe it was in the fall. I think it was in the fall. I don't know the dates for sure on that one. I'd have to look it up. But then, you know, if it's a cyst, I thought a cyst could possibly go away, right? So I'm waiting on this cyst to go away. But then it became to where it was uncomfortable for me to lay like on my stomach or lay on that side somewhat. because I would feel the knot. And then it seemed like sometimes it would seem like it was smaller, but then sometimes it would seem like it was bigger, but it wasn't going away. So in the meantime, I had the skin cancer issue. I had that removed. And again, they said, you know, it's nothing. It was basal. I don't know. I got it all written down. My memory is bad. I told y'all. So this is weird. So yeah, that was like in the fall, winter of 2017 that I had the little skin cancer issue. And it was burned out because it had not penetrated the layers of skin, so she was able to like laser it, burn it off. So anyway, so the lump, it just started to be uncomfortable, and it's like, this thing is not going away. So again, it wasn't quite time for my yearly. It wasn't time at all, actually. This was in June. I called my OB and made an appointment, went in to see him, and he was like, you need to go back and get that checked again. You need to go back to the imaging, get another mammogram, get another ultrasound or whatever they call it, and have that checked. So that's what I did. And oh gosh, nowhere to park. And this time it was different. After the lady did the ultrasound, I did the mammogram, then she came and did the ultrasound. And she said, I'm gonna go talk to whoever reads the results or whatever, which they've never done that before. Not to the extent that they did it this time. So I'm just laying there on the table waiting. Then her and whoever read the results come in to tell me that they think it's something. I don't even remember what they said because I was so flabbergasted. I'm like, I've been walking around here all these months with this thing that you all said was a cyst, and now all of a sudden it's not a cyst. You think it's something else, and that you think it's cancer, and that I need to get a biopsy. So then I had to call my OBGYN to get a referral to get the biopsy, and I didn't even know what kind of doctor do you go to for that or anything like that. So he recommended a doctor, and I went to her. She's my surgeon, and we did the biopsy. It's like an outpatient thing. You go to the hospital and get it done, and it's very painful. They try to make it not painful, but it is. And I had to get 2 because apparently I had 2 growths, and they saw the other one. All of this is foggy. I've got it written, journaled somewhere, but there's a lot going on. There's a lot of doctor's visits. It's a lot of stress and pressure. So I don't remember all the full details of the biopsies and the MRIs and the MRI with contrast and all of that stuff. I had to do a whole bunch of tests. All of that to say, when I went back to the surgeon's office to get the results of all the testing, it was cancer. And it's kind of creeps me out the way that the doctors and like the people at the imaging place, they want to, I guess I'm just not gonna break down in front of them or whatever. I don't think I broke down at all. The only time I broke down was coming from the oncologist about my hair. That was it. I didn't really break down and cry about it and get upset. I was just like, okay, so what do I have to do next? I mean, I felt depressed, I felt stressed, I felt afraid, but I just didn't let it bring me down, and I just didn't fall apart. So, but it's like the doctor, the surgeon, is like, she thought I was just gonna fall apart and crumble, but I didn't. I was just like, okay, because by that time, after being at the imaging place and having the biopsy and all of that, I kind of already knew. But yeah, sorry, somebody called me. Yeah, so it's like, it's like they kind of, are ready to pet you or catch you, or I don't know. But it was like, okay, yeah, because I kind of already figured that out. So what do I have to do? That's basically was my attitude about it. But so yeah, I found it myself, and I was at stage 2. Probably wouldn't have been at stage 2 if the first time I went in about it, if they would have diagnosed it properly then. I don't know for sure if it was a misdiagnosis. I think it was. I don't know. Do cysts turn into cancer? I don't know. I've looked into finding a lawyer about this. That's not working out either. So I don't know, but that's what happened. So I'm gonna go in this Dollar Tree and see if I can find this rock candy for this child, and then I'm gonna go get me a smoothie and go home and get to work, because I don't want to waste a lot of time running around to stores and stuff this morning. I need to get to work. I couldn't leave without checking the stationery aisle. So far, I haven't found what he wants, but ooh, they got poster board. So I'm not seeing anything interesting. Let me go look around some more. Oh, they got a whole sticker section. Got these little wooden trays. Ooh, got an embossing stylus. I wonder if it's any good. Scissors. They got a double-sided tape now. They got a whole legit craft section now. This is one of the bigger Dollar Trees. I'm impressed. Look at that. Applicator bottles, the spray bottles. So if your sprayers are clogged on your Glimmer Mist, you could just get a new bottle cover. Wow. Those little glass containers. Beads and whatnot. Paint. I don't know that I would be paying $1 for that. Oh, look at this. canvases. Okay, yeah, and so yeah, I've talked to people. I'm out of the store. I've talked to people about it. I've asked people that have gone through it questions and stuff, but everybody's situation is so different. It all depends on what cancer markers you have, what type of cancer you have, what type of treatment your particular doctor thinks is going to work for you. And as far as my treatment, I can tell you that what it felt like was, so you don't get sick instantly when you get chemo. Well, I didn't. In my case, I didn't get sick instantly. It's 2 or 3 days after that you start feeling the effects. And basically, what my treatment did was kill fast-growing cells in my body. So, and that's part of the reason why it's hard for some people to eat. So it's like basically your whole digestive system is being sloughed off, like just being burnt away. And so everything is extra tender. I mean, it's just bad. And one thing I don't understand is, why didn't I lose any weight while I was going through chemo? A lot of people have to stop because of their weight. They lose so much weight that they can't, it's not going to be healthy for them to continue. So, I don't know. I didn't lose any weight. I didn't eat much during the first 2, see, I was going every 3 weeks to get chemo. I didn't eat the first 2 weeks. The last week, right before I went back again, I ate. Food did not taste good to me. Those first 2 weeks, it barely had a taste at all. And it was just, I could barely even drink water. It's not that I was nauseous, because they gave me so much medication for nausea. I never really had any nausea, maybe once, but it was not bad. I had the Neulasta thing. They gave me something with the chemo. And I had to take some other pill. I had to take a steroid. It was a lot. And it was horrible. But that's a lot to go through. And it's just like an assembly line type thing. I couldn't believe it. You just go in this room and you sit in these chairs with a bunch of other people that are getting different types of treatments. And yeah, you just kind of sit there like dialysis, I guess. Where you just go and sit there and get your IV and do your time, basically. Oh, I'm so hungry. I'm a smoothie, my breakfast. Now I really shouldn't go to this other Dollar Tree looking for him for this, but I won't feel right if I don't actually give it a shot. So I'm gonna do it anyway. I got a few extra minutes that I can spare to try to make a little boy happy. I don't like going to this Dollar Tree. It's small. The lady yells at you when you walk in the door. I don't like when they do that. I don't like the greetings. Can you just let me slink into the store? You don't have to say anything to me. Just let me come on in here and get what I gotta get. Mind my little business. I don't like that. I don't want to have to talk to people while I'm shopping. Is that wrong? I think I'm going to open up the house today and let the sun shine in, let the fresh air in. I've been trying to do that more. I used to never do that because of my allergies and stuff, but it kind of doesn't matter either way. So, and when my mom was here while I was getting treatment, She used to do it all the time. So, and it didn't affect me. So I might as well let the fresh air in. Fresh air kills germs, doesn't it? Anyway. So yeah. I try not to think about breast cancer that much. I try to go about my daily life like everything is normal and not dwell on it. It's just that sometimes it pops into my mind like it did last night, and if I let it, it could really get me down and sad and depressed. But like I told my mom, my mom knew all the bad stuff. I didn't read any of the side effects of the medicine that they gave me. I did not want to know. I just reported to her anything that I had going on that was unusual. She had a whole little notebook with all of the information about the meds and everything. But I told her I don't want to know, because if my time is limited, all I'm thinking about right now is surviving. I don't want to be dwelling on how horrible this medication is and the horrible things it's doing to me. I don't want to know that, because regardless of what it's doing to me, if I'm going to go through with treatment, I have to take it anyway. So why torture myself with knowing all the horrible things that could happen? I don't want to know. I just want to live my life. So she don't understand that, but she just sees things differently than I do, I think. But yeah, I didn't want to know. And I think that was helpful for me in my situation, not to just break through the process because I didn't dwell on the medicine. I just focused on surviving. Making it from one day to the next, trying to eat, trying to drink water, things like that. Trying not to feel pukey. And it's like, I don't know. I just don't want to let it get me down. There's so many things in my life that I could let drag me down, and I just refuse. And that might be why I just kind of throw myself into work. I'm constantly doing some kind of crafting, creating on the computer, designing, because it keeps my mind off of my troubles. It gives me something to do. I do need to make a living. Even with all this going on, I still gotta make a living. And so I can't just lay down and let life take over me. Let stuff happen to me. So yeah, that's the story. Hope it's not too depressing to anybody. I don't mean it to be. It's just information. Just so you know, God forbid that you have to deal with it, or if someone in your family has to deal with it or has dealt with it. I don't know. People, I feel like everything is glossed over and sugar-coated when you hear about it in the media, especially during October, which is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I'm just like, I'm not gonna even get into that, but it's just, it's the sugar-coated version that you get most of the time. It's not the down and dirty details. So, And maybe I should have gone on and documented what was happening as it was happening. I don't know. I just didn't have the confidence at the time. I did post on my Instagram, like when I would go get treatment, I would post photos and stuff like that. So I have all of that. But I didn't do any videos, not really. Just when I cut my hair. I might have a few other video clips here and there, but I didn't do much. But this train is coming. I'm stuck at the railroad tracks here. So I'm gonna log off now. Hopefully this won't take long. Hey, they didn't have them either. I think I'm just gonna go online and see. I know there's a vintage candy store or several, and I used to look at one of them. I'm just gonna go online and see if I can find somewhere that I could just buy those in bulk and not let him know that I have them, and kind of just dole them out to him every so often. Because this running back and forth to the store, oops, it's getting old fast. Getting old. So I'm going home now. They did have some of the buffalo plaid. Somebody shared a picture with me on Instagram showing me all the buffalo plaid goodness at the Dollar Tree that someone posted a picture of it or something like that, and she shared it with me. But I did see the buffalo plaid placemats. I saw the mugs. I don't need any more mugs. I really want one, but I don't need that because I'm not gonna have room in my cabinet soon for all of these mugs. But I do generally drink out of a mug when I'm at home. And this is not very good, by the way. Too many big chunks of ice. It's like it wasn't blended well because the oatmeal is like chunky too. The oatmeal part I don't mind because it makes it more like I'm actually having something to eat. But the ice chunks I don't like. It's kind of bitter too, which is unusual. I just don't think she made it right today. And that's the girl that knows my car. So when I pull up in the parking lot, she sees me, she starts to drink before I even get out of the car. Because usually I'm going there when I come from the gym, and I'll sit in the car and check my messages, send some emails, respond to some notifications, stuff like that. So she'll see me sitting out there, and my drink will be ready or almost ready when I go in. Why are these buses out and about? Is it school in session already? This that we're coming up on is the longest light in America. I think they've made some improvements, but in the afternoon, there's no way that I'll come this route. I'm not gonna make y'all suffer through the length of this light. It's probably not gonna be that bad today. Knock on wood. But it's not changing to let us go anytime soon, it doesn't look like. I don't know what's for dinner tonight either. It's tiresome trying to cook dinner every day. I know our parents and their parents used to do it, but I think they had less to do as far as working It was like either you were stayed at home or you worked and didn't have a family. I don't know. But it's hard. It's like, just like yesterday. First thing I'm thinking when I wake up in the morning, okay, what are we gonna eat? What am I gonna feed them today? I'm like, and it's not just me. Not long after I woke up, my son came in the room. So, what's for dinner today? Are you serious? Worse than me. I'm like, it's not even 12 o'clock yet. But anyway, I'm pulling up to home now. So, I'm going to end this vlog for the day unless something else comes up, which I don't expect it to. And I will holler at y'all tomorrow morning. Bye.